Hello, everybody. My name is Leonardo. Welcome to the webinar of today. Uh, we are going to introduce our new release, the FaceDeep 3 series. So I'm waiting just some more minutes to start. But before we start, I would like to introduce you the tools of this webinar. So if you have any questions, you can make that anytime using the Q&A button on the bottom of your software, the Zoom of this webinar. But you can also use the chat box. My colleague, Mr. Lucas, will be today with us to help me getting all the questions you may have to make everything clear to you for this webinar. And we also will have the opportunity to give away one of our free sample for the best answer in the end of this presentation. So please, please stay with us until the end, and I hope you can enjoy this presentation and perhaps the device can fit the solutions of your customers. And for example, if you have any project, if you already have any customer considering uh, one of our solutions, we can open a space in the end of the presentation to talk about specific projects. So more detailed features or complements of the solution itself. So for general questions, you can make that anytime by the tools I have mentioned previously, all right? So welcome everybody, and we will be recording this presentation. So don't worry about the materials. They will be shared to you after the end of the webinar. So you will have the PDF file that I'm going to introduce in a few minutes, and also the video for your reference. So you will have all the material you might need to be consulted in the future, all right? So welcome once more. My name is Leonardo, and let's begin. Lucas, you're there, right? To help me with the questions, just making sure.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So uh, we are going to start with the presentation. Let me share my screen with you guys. And let's put us full screen. And we are going to start the presentation, and in the meantime, step by step, we take some pauses to see the questions you may have, all right? So before starting, just a briefing of myself. My name is Leonardo Ribeiro. I am the Anviz Technical Sales Manager. I am in this industry maybe around 8 years already, and these are some of the pictures I had in previous trainings, in previous road shows all around the continent. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys today, and just to share a little bit about myself before we start. You may have my email on the left side if you have further questions, if you have other consultants, and also my US phone number. So I stay with this phone to make technical support questions and also to talk about projects directly. As introduction, how to get back to work safely. We know that the COVID is still there. No matter where you are, some places are more controlled than the others, but in fact, we all need to take care with this new threat. So we are here to help you with this new normal, let's say like this. And business are slowly back to work with these precautions we need to consider. So that's why we are here today to present a very interesting tool for your small and medium business, for your project, depending on where you're going to install. I will have some examples of applications in the end of the presentation. So I guess today we are going to have a wide scenario for where and how to make this device satisfying your customers. So here are some of our advantages to have a contactless face recognition access solution. So the first of them is the biometric contactless identification. So you don't need to touch the device anymore with the fingerprint or with a password. It's 100% touchless. Sharp accuracy. So talking about facial recognition, we have a higher level of biometrical safety. Everyone has its own face, and we have many details, many technologies, many information we can convert to technology to make this accuracy so sharp. The artificial intelligence algorithm, so this is one of our biggest advantages. I'm going to explain that in the next slides, why this is so important. And as a conclusion, high security level of identification that I previously mentioned. So today we are going to talk about the FaceDeep 3 series. This consists in two models. So we have two models in the same family, the FaceDeep 3 as a standard one, and the FaceDeep 3 IRT, the one with the temperature sensor for body temperature measurement, all right? So let's give more details for that. Here is where I'm going to mention about the algorithm, why this is so important nowadays. Even more talking about data encryption, data stealing. We have our own algorithm. So this is made by us, patterned by us, and protected by us. So you will not be able to find this algorithm in any other brand of the market. For those that are not so familiar with algorithm is the technology that converts the biometrical features of the users and convert it to technology. So to numbers and codes that the devices can recognize electronically speaking. So they will use this to capture your biometrical template inside the device memory and make the matching, make the comparison with the database, with other users, even to recognize yourself. So this is why this matter is so important. We have our own algorithm and it's called BioNano. Here is the processor of our FaceDeep 3 series. It's a dual core 1 gigahertz CPU, so it can make up to 600 giga operations per second. So it's a very fast number. We have devices up to 10,000 users. For the standard version, they are up to 6,000. I'm going to show the comparison table later. And the verification speed is lower than 0.3 seconds. So it's a very, very fast device. Here is a slide to tell about the wide adoption for the various conditions. So we have done many tests with different faces around the world, from different regions, different ethnics, using different kind of materials as makeup, hairstyle, bird, glasses, hats, and so on. So we make everything accurate to provide the device and launch it to the market to avoid any kind of problems on the facial recognition. Lucas, any questions by there?
Yeah, there is one question regarding the software, but I think we can discuss this later.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another interesting question from Ms. Hafif Khan. He is from Digital Links, a really Anviz reseller, and he is requesting what is the main difference regarding the FaceDeep, the FacePass 7, that is Anviz product as well, with this FaceDeep 3 products? What is the main difference? Because in the past they have some issues with the FacePass 7.
Okay, good question. The FacePass 7 was a previous device than the FaceDeep 3 family. At that time, we had a different algorithm. The time we launched that, it was pre-pandemic scenario, so we didn't have so many necessity of accuracy on the algorithms. So for example, the mask detection is a feature I would suggest on the FaceDeep 3 and FaceDeep 5 series, another device we have, because we enhanced the algorithm to make it more accurate. So the main difference is in the algorithm and in the facial templates. The communication, the operation, the software connectivity should not be so different. I think that might reply the question. If not, please make comfortable to ask again. Should we continue?
Yes.
Okay, so you said that there are other questions. I believe they are from Mr. Antonio. Antonio, perhaps in the continuation of the webinar, I'm going to reply to questions, but if I don't, we can discuss later, all right? Don't worry about that. So continuing, here is a slide to tell about the mask detection. So I believe that we are in the right slide to the same thing I replied to the previous question. So our deep learning artificial intelligence provides detailed recognition for wearing masks. So we can even set alerts on our devices if, for example, a user is not wearing a mask, and the device can detect that and sign alarm for that, a screen alarm or a relay triggering alarm to make this signal for another third-party hardware to make sure that the user is not wearing a mask. And if you if you change the scenario and you're using the device as an access control, you can just simply configure that so your door will not open unless the user have a mask, right? So we can identify and configure the device according to the needs of the customer. Here we have a spotlight on the cameras of the device and also the smart LED spots. So we have two cameras we can see on the right side. One camera is the standard one and the other is an infrared camera. They work combined to provide the best reading of the users. So this makes the device appropriate for different kind of lighting conditions. So you're going to use the device in a very dark environment. There is no problem on that because the infrared camera will capture the facial template the same way if the device was in a brand lightning scenario. And on the laterals, on the sides of the device, we have two spotlight LEDs that whenever someone approximates to the device, these LEDs turn on to make the recognition easier for the device itself. So it's appropriate for different kind of lighting environments. And as a complement, we also assure that anyone will be able to get in if it's not a real person, a live person in front of the device. So if someone took a picture of you or someone, make a short video of your face, or even get a fake mask to try to get access on the device have the capability to identify that is not a real person in there, and as a consequence, it will not allow you to get inside. So this is an embed technology of our product. Ergonomic design for convenience. So we suggest the installation in 1.2 meters to 1.9. This should be around 47 to 74 inches of the floor. And in this range, the device have a very good angle for recognition for those persons or those people that are shorter. They can move a little bit farther to get the face read by the device, and for those that are taller can get a little more nearby the device to make the reading correctly. So the angle provides a very good adaptation depending on the field where the device is going to be installed. This is a 5 inches IPS wide angle screen, which means that the screen, the display of the device is very convenient for different kind of users. It's a very friendly and colorful high definition screen, and it's very easy to interact with the device itself by the menu. You have all the touchless functions in there to get access, to configure the users, to configure. I guess I have here on the right side some screens, some examples of the device. So the communication screen, the device, you can set the Ethernet or even the Wi-Fi. This is a device with Wi-Fi as a standard. Time attendance, internet for cloud settings, for example. It's a very friendly device. The functions in there are very clear, and most of times there are no doubts about functions of the menu of this device. Importing and exporting faces by the USB memory. For example, if you have more than one device and you don't have the chance to have a software in there for this management, and some of the screens of the main menus of the device, the advanced settings, the main menu, and so on. You're going to see that it's very, very friendly the configuration of this device. It can be used as a standalone, as I mentioned before, but also can be used connected with a management software that can be a desktop version or even a cloud version. I'm going to give more details about that further. This is how the device recognize how the device enroll the user. So you have the enrollment menu, and when you click to enroll, the user just need to be in the center of the green circle on the screen to make the correct capture of the template. And it will also give the user the distance reference for this reading. I mean, so if he's too far from the device, he get a little bit shorter, closer to the device to make this reading. And if he's too near by the device, he get a little bit farther. And this would be more or less the same distance he would have to make the further readings, the further authorizations to be used now or as a time attendance or as an access control. And here is how the device reacts as a regular user with mask detection and with the temperature inside the limit. It just show you a green record that the user is authorized. If the user, for example, doesn't have a mask and you set that configuration, it will show a yellow record. Or if the user is above the temperature limit that you had set, which means, in other words, the user is with fever, in that case, it will be shown a red record icon. So the users can be aware of the conditions they are having in that access. We also have audio alarms. We also have the device can interact by sound with the users on there.
Leo?
Yes?
Backing on the face with the mask, we have a question for Ms. Barbara.
Oh, perfect.
She asked, how can we guarantee the validation and security in this case, since the face is covered, almost 100% covered with the mask? Can you explain a little bit more on this?
Definitely, sure. Great question, Barbara. Nice to see you here. Actually, the mask covered around maybe 60% of the face, so it doesn't get all the face itself. The suggestion we do in this case is to make the enrollment without the mask. So when you're going to enroll the users, we suggest to remove the mask temporarily so the device can capture all the template of your face. And then, of course, when the user is going to get access with the mask, the device will have the internal reference of your template to make this recognition. So we have done many tests before. So when the mask is up to the nose, to the bottom, we can get the correct identification. But if you're wearing a very big mask, for example, that covers more, maybe near by the eyes, then you may have some difficulties on the reading. So as a standard mask, we are used to use it normally. We will not have problems with that.
Another question, Leo, regarding the difference of algorithm comparing Phase 7 device that we have as well. Can you, I know you already talk about that, but can you explain in more details what this new algorithm bring that will have no any impact or affect as Phase 7 we have in the past?
Okay, sure, definitely. We developed a new version of the algorithm compared with the Phase 7. So we used all the feedback we had previously for that device. That device, we can say that is a little bit more limited than the FaceDeep series. It's not a bad device. I mean, depending on the usage of that device can work very nicely. I have many customers that they don't have problems with that. But if we are moving for a specific project or that we need some more conditions on the device, that, for example, the mask recognition or even many kinds of adorns in the face. I mean, for example, if the bird changes or someone use a glass or someone have made different makeup and you combine this all, the FaceDeep The FacePass, the previous device, had some more difficulties to make those recognition. But now with the FaceDeep series, we got all that bad feedback and we raised the algorithm to the device. So we made a more powerful, talking about algorithm and also processor. The device is faster. The device has more reference to make those recognitions. So we are talking a new era of facial recognition comparing with our previous devices. I guess that might solve the question.
Okay, thank you, Leo.
Any additional one by now? Should we
Yeah,
continue?
yeah. You mentioned about the specific conditions. Mr. Hafiz also requests a question if is when we have a sunlight, for example, for outdoor projects, how our device work on this condition of outdoor space.
Okay, this is a very great question. Uh, for the FaceDeep 3 series, as the FacePass 7 as well, we suggest them to be used in indoor areas. They are not devices to be used as outdoor. Mainly speaking because of the entrances. I'm going to unbox one at the end of the presentation, and I'm going to give the details, but the materials those devices were made, they are not to be used in outdoor areas because of the rain and because of the directly sunlight. On our quick guides, we have more details about that. I can share that with them later if necessary, but the suggestion for these devices is to avoid directly sunlight on their screen because it can affect the reading of the device as well as the rain. Even more talking about the temperature. So if you're considering a device to be used as an outdoor solution, we have the FaceDeep 5 series, another family compatible with the FaceDeep 3 that you can consider for those kind of outdoor projects. I guess maybe we can continue, Lucas, and after we take some more pauses to
Okay,
what the questions.
okay. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. So moving next. Um, these are some of the interfaces of the device itself. So on the back part of the FaceDeep 3 series, you will be able to see a 4G input as optional. We will have a model for the FaceDeep 3 4G. The standard version doesn't contain that function, but all the other functions I might mention, we have on the standard version. That is the TCP IP port for the Ethernet cable communication, a relay that can be used for access control and also for alarms for fever or for mask detection, for example. We have a door sensor in there to check if the door is open or not. We have a WIGAN output that can be used to the third-party controllers to make a more safety access control. I can give more details later. I have a slide talking about that itself. Exit button, a bell in a bell output. So this is very important for us. For example, in the entrance of a company, if someone is not logged in, can just touch the bell button on the screen of the device, and it can trigger internal contact to be sent to a bell, or for example, for another hardware that may tell that someone is in the reception, someone is in the entrance, and they need to contact someone that is inside the office, for example. This is very interesting and a feature that the FaceDeep 5, for example, doesn't have. And as a standard Wi-Fi, for all the models of the FaceDeep 3 families, they already come with the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is 2.4 gigahertz. It's on the standard frequency. And we have a USB host for memories that you can download records, you can import users, and communicate with softwares or other devices by this kind of port. And here is some representatives installations. We have different kinds of. So on the left side, we are considering a contactless solution. So we have our device in here connected with automatic swing door, auto swing door with a motor, for example, to open the door with no need to touch the handle of that. But of course, if you have a standard door, there will not be any problem. You just need to change for electrical lock, for example, or a magnetic lock. the device relay can just trigger this signal. Doesn't matter if it's a lock or if it's a automation motor to open your door automatically. On the center of the slide, here is where I have anti-vandal solution, where I am using a Wiegand, the Wiegand output of my device with a controller. This gives me more safety on my system because I can get the device in the entrance and the controller and the lock connections on the inside part. So whatever that someone do with the device, if they take the device off, they cut the cables of the device, if they try to connect the relay of the device directly, I will be protected because the controller will only receive the Wiegand signal to open the door. It must be encrypted data to make my door open. So I make my system more safer, my system safer with this kind of solution. We're using a controller. For example, a controller from our company is the SC011. Or I can use it simply as a time attendance machine or a receptionist, a reception desktop machine to just take temperatures, take masks of my visitors, for example. And this is a very interesting feature. I'm going to give more details further to use the device in the visitor mode. This will be very interesting for the SMB application.
Leo?
Yes, I would just call you right now.
Yeah, back in 2 slides, you discussed about the communication. Does our device support Wi-Fi 2.5, 2.4 Gs as well, 5Gs frequency?
Well, the devices are all 2.4 gigahertz. They are the 2.4 standard Wi-Fi application.
Okay, and regarding the controller, does the device can control more than one door?
There is a way to do that, but we don't suggest because we only have one output. So it doesn't matter if you're using the controller or you're using the relay directly, it will all trigger in the same condition. So you cannot tell the device, this user will open this door, that user will open that door. No, for this kind of solution, we suggest you to have more than one device.
Okay, and just regarding some features of the device, what a language this device can support? For example, Czech language, there's available version on the device as well?
This question, I honestly speaking, I don't have this information so far. I would have to double check with our engineers, but the intention, if we don't have it so far, we are going to provide all the languages that we already have in our software. So if you want to make sure if the devices will be compatible for you, you can download our cross-check standard software, and there are different, many kind of languages in there, and our roadmap is to upgrade all those languages in the hardware itself. But if you, I ask you, please, Lucas, to get this question and who did that question so we can reply that with more details later, please.
Okay.
Moving on. Well, let's continue. So please save the questions for the future. So far, I just give details about our FaceDeep 3 standard version. The version now that I'm going to introduce is the FaceDeep 3 IRT. This version has, we can theoretically say that it's the same hardware, but now we have the temperature sensor on the right side in the bottom of the device. So we will add a new feature to the IRT version itself. So we have an infrared thermal camera that can take the human body temperature to make the combination to get access in the depending on the place you're going to install to make that the safety that the user is under the temperature limiter. In other words, he's with no fever and he will be able to access the device and the door by there. So we have a sensor and we suggest to approximate the palm of your hand, but sometimes maybe the palm is not the most suitable because we can see a scenario, for example, that the users, they use gloves because of the winter, or they are always touching devices, maybe colder, maybe hotter, than their real temperature. So technically speaking, my suggestion in this case is to approximate the wrist of your arm, of your right hand arm or your left arm, doesn't matter, but the wrist would be more accurate than the palm of your hand. But approximating it in a range of maybe 0.8 inches or 2 centimeters, the device will take the temperature correctly, and it will combine the facial recognition with the temperature and also with the mask recognition if you set the device to make those settings. The accuracy of the deviation is around 0.3 Celsius, 0.54 Fahrenheit if you're in the US region, North America itself. And the temperature range the device can get is up to 23 Celsius to 46 Celsius, or 73 Fahrenheit to 114 Fahrenheit. So this is the range the device can get. And it's more than the necessary for a human body temperature recognition. Here we have some videos explaining some basic settings of the device. I'm going to pause the video just to explain you what we're going to do in that. So here is the normal mode configuration, which means only regular users will be able to get access on the device. Further, I'm going to show the visitor mode, but first step, let's focus on the normal mode. So here we have a video where the installer, for example, get access on the device menu with the credentials, and in the advanced part in application, there is the thermometry button. This is where we can set the device as a normal mode or as a visitor mode. So coming back, we have a user. This is a regular user. He will get access on the device, and after the device recognizes him, it will ask him to put the wrist to be the temperature, make the reading. So it will double check if that user is under normal conditions or not. Let me just put it back in the right part where I mentioned. So user approximate, device recognize, put the hand, okay, green record, authorize it. And now a visitor is trying, so this is another user that is not enrolled. He is trying to get access on the device, and we can see that in the normal mode, he will not be able to get in because the device is not configured for non-users, saying like that. And in the right side, we have an example of the software application. And in here is just a reference of our desktop version, the cross-check standard one. And we can set the device to be used in the real-time mode, which means that whenever there is a new record, someone get access on the device, we will see a new record right here. The person that get access, where, when, the temperature, if they use a mask or not, and I can also assign a picture of that person, for example, for an operator. If someone is in the entrance or operating of the access control areas, they can see the picture of that user that got that access at that time, for example. So it's a very flexible software. It's a very complete software talking about all these conditions, combining access control and also time attendance. So let's, yes.
Sorry, just the first question that we received from Mr. Antonio regarding the cross-check. The checking software is working with the facial recognition only? Is this first question of him, please?
Okay, good. So let me see if I can get the question right here as well. The checking software is working with the, maybe you can tell me if it's not clear, the answer for you, Mr. Antonio, but the cross-check standard, the same software that I'm talking, it can be used with the FaceDeep 3 series, the standard one, and also the IRT one as well. So we will have columns for the mask detection, we will have columns for the temperature recognition, And we will have information of time attendance and access control as well. So it's a very complete software. So if I didn't reply your question regarding to that, please give me more details in another question. We can explore more on that. Any other questions about this feature now, Lucas?
I believe yes. He give us an example. I will read for you. We use the FaceDeep, the FaceDeep to open doors and check in the already enrolled people, employees.
Okay.
His understanding is that the FaceDeep recognize or not the person. If the person is recognized and the temperature is okay, the door will open. If the person is not recognized but the temperature is correct, no fever, then the bell will ring, right? Is this the question of him?
Okay. The first part was okay, but the second part not that way. So let me give you some examples. If you're going to use the device in the normal mode, as I just mentioned, uh, the people that are not enrolled will not be able to get access on the device, nor get temperature, nor get mask detections because they are not regular users. So what is the logical of the device? In this mode, uh, user recognize it. Okay, let me check the mask and let me check the temperature. If the user is not recognized, the device doesn't do nothing. And then the user, if he feel that he's not being recognized, then the user manually go and touch the bell button. And now with the bell button, we can send a switch signal to someone in the entrance or in the reception to make the contact with that user. This is the first scenario, but we have the second scenario that is in the next slide. So I will take the opportunity to explain with the slide so everyone can be on the same page. Now we are going to see the visitor application. So this will also reply our question, Antonio, talking about the second scenario. Here, we will configure the device in the visitor mode. What is that? The device will work, of course, the device will continue recognizing the users that they have been previously enrolled. But now for those users that are not enrolled, the device can take the mask detection and can take the temperature and can open the door if you need to. So this is what I'm going to show in those examples. So getting access in the same configuration of the menu, we have the normal option and the visitor option. And now we have the video with the normal user, face recognition, temperature, mask, green record. Now the visitor, there is no name for him. Can you see that it's just the face and the requiring for take the temperature. So let's put once more. So he will take temperature and that's okay. The device accept that as a visitor. So the visitor will not have a record with the name of the person in there because he was not enrolled previously, but the device can open the door if necessary. So this is the second scenario. So I think that now I give you more details about these two differences of normal and visitor. And just to complement, on the right side, we have another application we provide. There is the web server function. When you type the IP address of the device on the browser, we have this other tool we can explore. And if we go here on the record list for the device thermometry side, we have pictures of those visitors, of those regular users in there. When they get access, which was their temperature, if they were wearing a mask or not, you have the visual information in there. So this is a very interesting feature, even more talking about visitors, because you will not be able to know who is that visitor if we take the records as reference, because the visitor is not enrolled in your system. So in this part of the application, you can see the picture and really check who was the visitor at that time. So I think that maybe now it's a little more clear, the scenario. Lucas, can you confirm if there are any questions about this explanation I've been doing now?
No, regarding this issue, I think is no question anymore. Thank you.
Welcome. But please, if it's not clear for you guys, make sure to question me again. And the focus here is to solve all the possible questions for your project. And here is just the mask detection configuration. It's simpler than the visitor in normal mode. When we go to mask detection, we can enable or disable, and we can configure for alarm or for access control. So we have two options in there. When the device is configured as access control, it will only let you open your door if you are wearing a mask. So if you're not wearing a mask, the device can alarm you and will not open door. But now, if you switch that function to alarm only, the relay will not be used as access control anymore. You will not put the relay directly on your lock or on your motor. You will put the relay on a siren or on a red LED or on a input of your alarm central, for example, because now the relay will just trigger if he sees that someone's not wearing a mask. So two differences. In short words, access control, no mask, no open door. Relay as alarm, no mask, switch signal to the alarm central, for example. Lucas, feel free to interrupt me anytime about this feature, right?
Okay.
Now let's move next to the applications we can provide for this family of FaceDeep 3 series. We have three different standard softwares. The first one on this slide is the cross-checks application. So if you have an Android phone or you have an iPhone with the iOS system, you can download the cross-checks mobile application that will be used to the Bluetooth devices. So by Bluetooth, you can communicate and check the main functions of your device. So we also have a version of FaceDeep 3 with the Bluetooth embed, and it will be able to be managed by that software. But we also have the standard one and the cloud one. I believe in the next slides we can explain a little bit by them. The cloud one allows you to connect several devices in any place of the world as long as you have internet to communicate them. So this is a very flexible software, and it's very appropriate for franchising, for example, or for companies that have more than one office. They have different places and they want to control all of them together in the same platform. So it's a very flexible software talking about that. You just need to create an account on our cross-checks cloud software, and in the configuration of the device, you set them to be communicate with your account. You will be able to see them all in the same platform. You can also register users by there. You can enroll faces by the devices directly, or if you had captured a previous face of the user, you can upload that face to the device memory remotely. So you don't need to be there to enroll your user. So with the picture of them, and you send this information to the device memory, when the user approximates to that device you set this configuration, the device will be able to identify him. So this makes the device even more flexible. And here we have the record list example. So whenever there is a new record, someone got access on your devices, a new line will be shown on the record management. You will be able to see who is that person. You will be able to see which technology that person used, which door that person had access. And in the future, in this next month, we are including the column of temperature and the column of mask detections. The same features we already have in our standard software, the cross-check standard for desktop, we will apply on the cloud as well.
Leo?
Yes, questions?
Yes, regarding this, assuming that we are keeping the system is keeping the information, what is the compliance regarding the laws of data protections?
Okay, this is a very a very interesting question, and let's say it's a very polemic that we have nowadays. So to make sure that your data is protected, we have documents to fulfill with those requirements, and we use the Amazon server that is already under the GDPR compliance. So we are always working under all those regulations, all those compliances to make sure that your data is protected and will be safe in our hands. Not even our hands, we can say, because the data goes straight to the server. We, as Anviz company, we are not able to see that information because it's encrypted inside the cloud server.
Okay, thank you. And regarding the cross-check, it's possible to use an iMac devices?
Well, the cross-check standard, unfortunately, it's only able to be used in the Windows operational systems. For the Mac, our suggestion is to use the cloud. It's very flexible and should fulfill any smart device. It's a Mac, it's a Windows, if it's an Android. As long as you have a web browser, you will be able to manage the cloud application.
Okay, I think for now that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Here are some examples of applications. So I guess I mentioned in the introduction, there are many different places we can offer our device to be used. For example, in hospitals, in pharmacies, in schools, we already have projects in this kind of application. Small and medium business, offices, on shopping malls, whenever you may need the device to take recognition of regular users or even visitors. It gives a wide scenario for the device, this visitor function. Because, for example, in a store inside a shopping mall, can have a device on the entrance to check the mask, check the temperature. If they're okay, they are welcome to join your facilities. So some examples of applications here is in the main office of Anviz. We put a FaceDeep 3 in there. Some applications as a representative in a pharmacy or in a medical scenario. Oh, this is the medical one. This is SMB. And just to give some references as marketing material, including, as I'm going to share this information, this PPT with you guys, you can use to introduce with your end users or with your potential customers that might need this solution. And just a scenario application on an office, you can have one device in the reception. This one should be used as visitor mode, for example, just to take mask and temperature. And if the person is okay, the visitor is okay, they can get access. We can also have the regular users time attendance function over here. So the device can clock in and clock out the users, for example, and have the regular shift, the regular working hours by the end of the week or by the end of the month, for example. And inside the office, we can have devices for access control itself, just for authorized users, and also taking temperature, for example, in a room, in a part of the office that there are more concentration of people in there. So you can make sure that the users are under the normal controls to be working and to avoid contagion for the other colleagues of that place. Well, here is the technical table of our devices. So we have two models of this family, two sub-models, let's say like this, that is the FaceDeep 3 and the FaceDeep 3 IRT. The main difference of them is the infrared sensor. And for each version, you will have three more models. Then the standard one is the one that we are releasing at this webinar, and the FaceDeep 3 standard IRT, they are already released. So if you have interest into having a demo, if you already want to know more of the devices, you can send a quote for us. On the end of the presentation, I'm going to give the emails so you can get more information about pricing, about delivery and sales information. but the other two models for each one, the Deep 3 Pro and the Deep 3 4G, as well as the IRT version of them, are going to be released soon. So main differences between them, one of them will be the 4G communication. So just with a cell phone chip, you will be able to communicate. The device doesn't need to have a Wi-Fi, doesn't need to have an Ethernet cable in there. And the Pro version will also have the Bluetooth to be communicated with the Crosscheck's mobile application. Lucas, you have any questions by there?
Yeah, we have one regarding the cloud app. If allow for control of FaceDeep 5 and FaceDeep 3 for access control specifically, enrollment and access permission with reporting.
Okay, this is a very good question. The focus of the cloud application, the US cloud, Crosscheck's cloud, I'm sorry, is for time attendance. But it doesn't mean that you cannot use the device as access control, because the device itself will have the triggering, the output connections for you to open doors. So of course, yes, you can use the Crosscheck's cloud to control many different doors in many different places, and you can have the permission. You can set your user to have permission to open specific doors only. So you can create departments. So each department will represent a door, technically speaking. So you can create Office 1 entrance, Office 2 meeting room, Office 3 reception. And you can give for this user, after you enroll him, the permissions to get access of each department. So the software will assign that department and send that information for all the devices that are in those departments. So you create, in short words, the user is assigned to the department and the door is assigned to that department. So when you create a user, the department will gather information and send to the door. So this is how the cloud works for access control. And of course, as a consequence, you will have the records. When you search that, if the user get access in there, it will show you in the record who was that user, when, where, and which door that user opened according to the name you gave to that specifically department. I guess that might reply the question. I'm sorry. Sometimes I give so many details, but talking about projects, I think that as more details, the better for the applications, right?
Okay, Leo, thank you so much.
Any more questions so by now?
I believe for now, no.
Okay. So maybe I can give you some more details of the device itself. Let's make a unboxing right here. So I'm stopping sharing my screen, and on my right side, you can see a sample of the FaceDeep standard version, and I also have a box of the FaceDeep 3 IRT. So let me see if I can do some tests right here, just for you guys to see the facial recognition and the alarm setting. So I programmed my device to alarm if I am not wearing masks. So let's make a test right now. I hope you can hear. Lucas, you can confirm if you will hear the alarm of the device. So I'm trying to be recognized and the device is triggering an alarm. Can you hear that?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, one more just to make sure. I had to get off the device because the device recognized me, and try again. So no mask. Now, for example, I could set the device to trigger a relay for this alarm. For the user is not wearing a mask, let me contact someone that there is a no mask person in the entrance of my business, for example. And now if I use the mask, the device just recognizes me as thank you and generates me a green record because everything is okay. One more. And that's it. Just a briefing of the recognition of the mask. For the temperature, I have here a FaceDeep 3 IRT box. So just to give you details about the content of the box, maybe we will not be able to see the letters of the box itself, but it's a FaceDeep 3 IRT. We can see by the red option right here that this is one with the infrared thermal sensor. So opening the box, we are going to give one of them, and pay attention on the last slide, because if you write the best answer for us, you will be able to have one as a free sample. So opening the box, a quick guide. This is a very simple, but we can say a complete as well, quick guide. On here you have the installation conditions, where you can install a device inside a room, for example, to avoid lightning, to avoid direct sunlight, the wiring diagrams for magnetic locks, for striking locks, for auto sliding doors, for example. You have all these instructions in there. Is the same file you are able to see on our website. If you go at anviz.com, you will be able to check the device itself by our web page, and on the bottom of the page you have a download area where you can download the catalogs of the devices and also the quick guide with all the instructions for this device, how to install it properly. So this is also important and interesting if you have a project and you want to consider all the information before you're purchasing your device. We want to make sure that you are purchasing the device correctly. You are using the device that will fit your project. So that's why we provide all the necessary information, and we also have a very trained team to provide you the project details, the functions of the device. This is the intention, to make everyone satisfied with the solution. So here is a FaceDeep 3 model. So the difference between them, let's see if we can give details to you. So on this right part, on the device's left, there is an infrared sensor that the standard version doesn't have. So to make the temperature reading of him, you just need to approximate the palm of your hand. And as my suggestion, because the hand, you are always touching different temperature things, and sometimes with gloves, is to use your wrist to make the recognition. So the first step, the device will recognize you if you are a regular user, or if you're not, the device will get that you are a visitor. So first step, you make this proceed, and the device will show an icon on the display that now you can take the temperature of your body. So as this next step, you just approximate your wrist on the infrared sensor, and if everything's okay, a green record is generated and you can get access with the device. Lucas, at any time that you may have questions, don't hesitate to interrupt me, okay?
Yes, I believe regarding your last answer, they want to confirm if the access control capability can set up enrollment with cross-check app only and not cloud. Is cloud for access control plan in the near future?
In the short-term future, the CrossCheck's cloud will only attend the time attendance as the main function, but I can guarantee, talking about access control simple functions, the CrossCheck's cloud can be used because you can enroll users remotely, you can upload faces to the device's memory directly, you can see the records. So for basic access control, you can use CrossCheck's cloud normally. It's a very interesting function even for this kind of procedures. And talking about the cross-check standard, then of course now we have a more complete software with more functions of access control, and you can also, this is for both softwares. You can enroll users directly by both of them. You will have functions to enroll the face remotely and also upload picture of the users by there. So both of them can fit the question they did as a reply of this question, Lucas.
Okay, I believe yes. I just saw Mr. Antonio Hayes raise his hand. If he wanna speak on the microphone, is it possible for him?
Yes, but I suggest as the end of the presentation, perhaps if it's a more specific question, we can finish the slide and then we can open the microphone of those that are raising hands. And definitely, of course, we will be able to talk at that time. I think that is should be more appropriate. What do you think?
Okay, it's okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so Antonio, please wait a little bit more. We are up to finish, and then we can open the microphone to talk with you, all right? Uh, okay, so continuing, I was just telling about the FaceDeep 3 IRT version. So you can see here the LEDs on let me see, I guess here. So these big circles, they are spotlight LEDs. So if someone approximates the device, it can flash the LEDs to make a barrier recognition. And in the center, you have two cameras, the standard one and the infrared. As I told, they combine themselves for a barrier recognition. This is a 5 inches IPS screen, so it's a touch screen, so you can get all the configuration by touching the device. But for example, if you are installing the device in a scenario where you want to avoid touching to get contact with the device itself, to avoid the maximum possible the contagion situation, you can set all the information by web server, connecting the device by menu, by the local Ethernet, local network, and you can also make it by the cloud if you preset the device on there. So you have different kinds of configuration to explore on the device where it is going to be installed. Moving next, the screen is a colorful, high definition screen, very friendly with the users. You have the main functions over there. And moving a little bit on the bottom, you will have the RFID reader that can support both frequencies, EM 125 kilohertz or the MIFARE, that is the 13.56 megahertz, and also can be read as an extension of this MIFARE frequency, that is the NFC. Many people already, depending on the local area you are, you have credit cards, metro cards, subway cards that use the NFC frequency. You can also use them to get access on our devices, on the MIFARE version. And to finish the main features of the device on here, you have the infrared sensor. To take the temperature, as I mentioned, when I approximate my wrist, this will be the sensor to get this temperature taken. The device goes with a mounting plate as a standard, so you can fix it on the wall and fix the device on this plate for the regular use on the device install it in the wall. But you can put the device in many other applications like turnstiles, like desktop mounting, or for demo cases applications. It doesn't matter. You just need to evaluate the best support to fit your device on it. Just to finish then the unboxing, the device already goes with the power supply. It's a 12 volts, 2 ampere dedicated to the device. If you're going to install the device with a lock, we suggest to use another power supply for that lock and use the relay, for example, just as a switch signal. And the wiring and the cards, maybe perhaps you will not be able to see it clearly, but the device comes with 2 Anviz cards and with the wiring and the screws to fix the device on the wall. So basically, this is the content of a FaceDeep 3 IRT device. So maybe, Lucas, if there are any other questions by now, we can finish with the giveaway instructions and then open the microphone of our participants. Let me know if you have questions in there, please.
Yeah, they request to confirm if the price of cloud will be free. What is the price for the cloud?
Okay, this is a very interesting question. Many customers ask me that. So by now, the cloud service is free. There is no cost on that. And we can guarantee that until the end of this year of 2021, all the users that create an account on our cloud system, they will not have any kind of licenses for the features we are already providing. So if you're not using the cloud so far, make sure you create your account before the end of these years, because we have plans in the future to add specific functions under license. So we will enhance the performance of the cloud, give more functions on there. Even now talking about access control, that is in our roadmap, not in the short term, but it's in our roadmap to provide more features on the cloud function. But we cannot guarantee that those features will be free. So please make sure you'll be enrolled by the end of this year, and if possible to keep your account activated until then.
I got another question regarding is there in our website any tutorials on access control for FaceDeep 3 and FaceDeep 5?
For the tutorials, we already provide the wiring installation in the quick guide, but we have more information. If you cannot find them in our website on the standard PDF files of the manuals, of the quick guides, or the catalogs, I invite you to participate of our YouTube channels. So if you look for Anviz Global on your YouTube browser of your YouTube applications, and also Anviz support, we have 2 YouTube channels where we have many videos, many tutorials of applications in there, including the FaceDeep series as well. The FaceDeep 3, since it's a very brand new releasing, we are working on those videos so far, but as soon as possible we are going to launch them in there. And my plan is for the next months, maybe next weeks, I need to schedule the correct time, is to provide a technical webinar for the FaceDeep 3 series. So then I'm going to explore more functions of the software, more functions of the hardware on applications. So please subscribe to our YouTube channels, and also include your email on our website. On the bottom of the website, you will have a newsletter email option there. Put your email in there and subscribe yourself to be updated to our newsletter and our next webinar invitations. Lucas?
Okay, Leo. Our questions is finished now, so
okay. So just to finish the presentation, I'm going to be back on the slides. Let me show just the last slide, I guess. Is the giveaway instruction. So this one is just for you guys to participate of our giveaway event, which means that we are going to select one answer of the following question: how can FaceDeep 3 series improve your safety? You can send your question and the reply of these questions. Also, if you have suggestions, if you have comments, something to add to this webinar, please feel yourself free to write that down to the email marketing@anviz.com. We are going to select the best answer, the best reply for this question, and we are going to give a sample of a FaceDeep 3 IRT, and we are going to post that in our Instagram at Anviz Global. So if you're not following us by there, please put it there on your Instagram to follow our company updates. We are always promoting news of our devices and projects in there. So I wish you luck if you want to participate, and I hope you can have the chance to get a sample of our device. And before opening the microphone of our colleagues, for those that already solved their questions, already are okay with our presentation, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your being here with us today. I hope this solution can fit some of your customer needs. And please feel free to ask us anytime. I'm on here. Let me see, where are the emails? Right here, you have the sales inquiries at sales@anviz.com, and all the technical questions you may have, you can go on support@anviz.com. We will be here to help you with all your necessities. So Lucas, right now, let's see, Antonio is still there. Let's try to open his microphone to talk about the projects with him. So all those that are still interested in talk with us for more details, please raise the hand button. We can open the microphone temporarily and speak with you guys to give more attention on your specific projects. So let me see. Yes, Antonio, Antonio, I'm allowing you to talk right now. Please check your microphone, unmute that, and we can communicate itself. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. So first of all, thanks for your great job, Leo, and also Luca, to help you with questions, which was very, very helpful. My last question is this: is it possible, because of course the system is very flexible, what I understood, the system is very flexible, and I don't want to say it is complicated, but of course, because it's flexible, has a lot of features. So my very important question as an installer, is it possible to have some kind of flow chart of the logical behind the system, especially for the connector on the backside of the FaceDeep 3 IRT?
Okay. Well, for the flow chart, maybe I would have to make this flow chart for you in the next 2 days. We don't have a documentation by that way, but definitely let me try to share my screen. I will share with you the quick guide of this device, and I can give you some scenario about that. Just 1 second. I'm trying to find the quick guide here, and I'm going to share that with you so we can talk using that as reference. FaceDeep 3, and this is where we have the quick guide. Okay, so I will share my screen now. Let me know once you can see that, please. Can you see that?
Yes, I see the screen.
Okay, so this material, you can now download the same file on our website if you go to the FaceDeep 3 page. And talking about the wiring installation, here you have all the information of the features that I just gave on the webinar. The installation, so where is appropriate to install the device, where it is not, to avoid direct lightning, to avoid sunlight. So this is the applications we provide. And on the last page, we have the diagrams of installation. So right here, this is an example of magnetic lock application. So you have the normal close output and the ground. So you basically, what you need to do is to connect the lock on those outputs of the relay. And you can use a standard power supply provided by us, or for example, another power supply that you can buy in your local market. Just make sure that you put this power supply in the same circuit, so it will be able to power up your magnetic lock, and whenever the device recognizes someone that you want to get access, the device switch the relay and close and open this circuit, giving out electricity from your lock. So this is one of the applications. So if you have another kind of lock, you just need to use, instead of the normal close, you use the normal open. We have all these diagrams, but for example, if you have a different application, we can give you all the support and make a customized diagram for your application if necessary. We also have more informations right here. The weekend output, we have the open, the door sensor button. So if you take some minutes to analyze that one by one, you will see that it's not so difficult to interpret. But of course, if you have some questions about that, some details you want to make clear, please feel free to tell me.
Thank you very much.
This might solve your questions, Antonio. I'm not sure if I
Yes,
give you all
yes,
the
for
details
sure.
you need. Okay.
In case I will discover the right motor, the sliding door motor, or the operable and openable pivot motor, I will send you this information just to be sure the perfect connection in the proper way. So what is the right email address to be in connection with for the technical info?
Okay, so assuming if you are in the North America region, you can get my email as the support itself. I would be the same person to guide you. So let me share my screen with you again. So I can share you my email. Just 1 second. So this would be my email. You can write directly to me, but
Leonardo Ribeiro.
Yes, and as a general information for you, I will not say that 100% of the motors of the market work that way, but I can say that maybe 90%. All of the central that controls this sliding or these pivoting motors, they have an input that it's written button, B-O-T or B-U-T, but it's an entrance that means whenever you switch that signal, like if it was a button, the door opens or the door closes according to the application. So most of times we use this input and we put our normal open output of the relay to make that button work. So whenever a user is connected, I recognize it by the device switch the relay, and the relay switch the button input of the motor, and this open the door. Most of times, this is the correct operation.
Thank you very much. For me, it's totally clear. I can just say hello to you and to Luca. Thanks again.
Okay, Antonio, it's my pleasure. For the people that maybe you not have questions by now, but we know that depending on the project, future questions might happen. Contact us, count on our support to try to solve all those questions. Someone more, Lucas, with the raised hand?
No, for now, no, Leo.
I can see David Wolf here. Let me, David Wolf, I will allow you to talk. So if you want to ask me something, you can now already open your microphone.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, David, sure, I can hear you.
From a development standpoint, when users register on one of these, do you have an API now that will allow you to move that image from one clock to another?
David, I'm sorry, perhaps I didn't understand your question correctly because of the audio, but I guess I get the context. So I will assume that your question is regarded to the API, to the SDKs, right? Talking about the integrations, we have the files. We have two different files, the SDK, the library for the standard, the desktop application, and we also have an API for the cloud application. So with them, you can communicate with the device directly and integrate them with your own platform. You can download records, you can download users, you can upload or enroll users. You can do all the features that our software can already provide, but directly on your platform. And to have access of those materials, I just ask you to send me an email telling exactly what is your company name and what is the applications you might need. and we will send you an NDA file for to have the how can I say, the confidence material, and then share these API documents with you.
Okay.
This might solve your question, Mr. David.
Yes. I mean, I guess I can ask the question.
Okay. Okay. So my email is on the screen. If you want those files, please write me an email. I can send them for you after our first contact.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else with the raising hand button? I just removed the raising hand from Antonio and from David. Lucas, something by your side?
No, here it's all clear.
Okay. From the chat box, let me see if there are questions in there. How is the Barbara already? We already replied, and we have Tom Chu, mounting brackets, stands, angle brackets, vandal resistant. Tom, are you still there? I guess Tom is already left. But maybe I already replied this before. We have different kind of supports. The device already goes with the wall mounting as standard. But if you want different supports, you can contact us. Some of them we can provide. Some of them we can help you to create it locally. So it all depends on the project. Well, Lucas, I guess that's all. At least
Yeah,
I can see here.
Yeah, that's all, Leo.
Okay, guys, we appreciate you being with us today. Thank you very much for participating. Please follow us on the YouTube channels that I mentioned before, on the newsletter options. Stay upgraded and uploaded and up to date, we can say the best word, with our solutions. Hope to see you again in our next event. Thank you once more. Lucas, thank you very much for helping me to participate in this webinar, and I hope we can keep in touch.
Okay, our pleasure mine. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye, guys. We're going to send this material to you shortly. Okay? Bye-bye. Thank you.